Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 11th episode of the Best Ever Weiss Schwarz Set Review Show. Very exciting. Last episode was our 10th episode, and to celebrate, I guess our 10th and our 11th episode at the same time, we're going to be doing something pretty special, as evidenced by our hats. We're all wearing them. With me, you guys know me, I'm Tom. But with me is our special guest and probably constant presence, Kevin, aka Kilua. Say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
He's rocking the purple, and below him you'll see Mr. Yue Peng wearing the red hat. The hat looks really big. It's almost as big as his ego. But wave hi to everybody. He's not gonna talk. He's actually mute. What's with the party hats, dude? It's a celebration. We're celebrating. I'm sure everybody has heard we are giving away Mushoku. We're giving away a Mushoku Tensei playset, at least one, maybe more. We will be giving out more based on how many viewers we end up getting, and as Yue stated so eloquently last time, the goal here is to milk our sponsor, Nova TCG, for all he's worth, and to get as many free playsets into the hands of you guys. So, before I get into the ratings and stuff, I think maybe some words from our sponsors should be appropriate here. Hello, Taya.
Hi. First of all, I was not informed about the party hats. I'm gonna hold a grudge against you guys, because I would totally want one. That said, hi guys. Nice to finally be able to come see this live, be part of it live. Sacrificing my sleep for content, as one should. Welcome to the 11th episode. It's pretty impressive we've gotten this far, because in my head it feels like just yesterday we were planning the first one. And we couldn't be doing this without you guys. So I hope you continue to tune in. I hope we break the view record today, and see you guys around.
Thank you, Taya. She is the proprietor of Weiss Tea Time, one of our core resources in the Weiss community. Very useful. We always use all of her stuff for our shows, so big shout out to Taya right there. And next up, we've got a few words from Brian of Nova TCG.
Oh, cool. I get the big stage, apparently. All right, well, thank you guys for coming today. Today is a big milestone in this stream project we've been hosting for the past few, months now. I want to thank everyone here for supporting our store, letting us hit such a big milestone. If you follow our Facebook and website, you'll know that Mushoku was a pretty big set for us. Those prices will be up in 30 minutes approximately, maybe an hour or more. Also, there's some things that I feel like a lot of people don't know about us. I want to take this opportunity to let you guys know we offer English sealed products. Currently we have Kaguya and Data Life, as well as, and then one other thing that was in this coming release that most people forgot about were the Persona 3 Chronicles set. This we have these up currently on the website, so if you guys want, these will be available. They're shipping out tomorrow, just in time for shout outs to Dan's Ranch and his team for hosting the Legacy Weiss Schwarz tournament. So you guys want old cards, these are some great shiny old cards you can play in your set. Probably won't arrive in time, but hey, it's there if you want it.
For the next Legacy tournament, whenever that is.
Yeah, for the next one.
We give that out at the... Did we talk about it already?
Okay,
I think that thing was confirmed, right?
Leaks!
No leaks, guys. And I guess finally, Yue will. If Yue has anything he wants to say, as he is the final part of the puzzle, that is this content.
I have to come over here to be able to use the mic. Hey everyone, it's Yue from Strictly Bro and TGG. I'm operating the stream today. Appreciate all of the resubs, the follows, guys. Super grateful for that. We won't be able to announce them until intermissions, but thank you so much for the support. Me and Tom, when we originally thought of this project, we just wanted to make Japanese Weiss Schwarz content that came out on the same release date as, like, the cards, right? For Japanese, because, you know, time-sensitive Japanese content was important to us. And then Kevin came along, you know, now he's on SBTCG, which is awesome. And our sponsors, you know, I couldn't have done it without them. They are absolutely awesome. Waste Tea Time and Nova TCG. Like, sorry, I'm just so thankful that I'm forgetting names of our sponsors. No flame.
Dude, this guy was saying he was like kind of nervous before the stream started.
Yeah, a little bit, to be honest. But thank you guys so much. Strictly Broken appreciates you. Nova TCG appreciates you guys. Waste Tea Time appreciates you guys. Check out their websites, and all I really got to say, unless Tom wants to say something else.
No, I think you got everything. I would just like to reiterate my gratitude for all the support and, you know, the people that come out every time to watch our content. And you know, we make our content for you guys, so I hope you guys continue to enjoy and watch us as we, you know, move on, as we continue to try and do really cool things for you guys. With that being said, I'll just quickly go over the ratings before we get into the card reviews proper. So we rate cards on a scale from 1 to 5, for 1 to 5 stars, and I'll start with a 5-star rating. So 5-star ratings are reserved for cards that are just amazing. These are cards that everybody knows, even if they don't play a set, and these are cards that everybody who plays a set should keep in mind when they are looking to purchase cards. These are cards that really make the set stand out. 4s are cards that are just from the set that are just good. You know, they really, you know, fill out kind of a lot of the list because they fulfill really crucial roles, and they're very good at filling those roles. Stuff like really good level 1 combos, good early plays. These are 4 stars. I'll skip 3 stars and go ahead to 2. So 2 stars are for cards for that you know, are decent-ish utility cards. These are cards that have kind of low impact effects but are very important for over the course of the game. These are things like drop searchers, costless discard outlets. Those things are what we would consider 2 stars. 3 stars are not necessarily in between 2 and 4 stars, though it can seem that way. 3 stars are rating to indicate uncertainty about a card's strength. So a most common thing now is like sometimes powerful effects get printed for specific archetypes of cards, and we're not necessarily sure how strong these cards are, so we give them 3 stars. And 1 stars are just our ratings for the worst cards in a set. So we don't you know, necessarily like to give out 1s, but we have to be honest with you guys and tell you if we think a card is not worth purchasing or considering for most builds. And that's why we give out 1 stars. All right, so I think we can get started.
Yep.
With the set review.
I do want to say one more thing though.
Okay.
Tell your moms, tell your dads, tell your sisters, your brothers, your dogs, your grandmas, everyone to just open up the stream, get to that 250. I want to milk Brian. I want him to give out a second playset. Let's do it, guys. If we can give out 2, I will actually... I mean, I just want to give you guys free stuff. Like, God forbid, if we hit 500, we give out 3. So, let everyone you know to come in, even if they don't play Weiss, because I'm down to hella milk this Brian guy and Nova TCG.
Hell yeah. Let's do it, guys.
Sure.
You ready, Kevin? You ready,
Yeah.
Yue?
Big ready.
All right.
Highlights.
We'll start off with some of the TD Plus cards. There aren't that many to cover, so we'll go through this pretty quickly. So we'll start off with this 1-0 Rudy from Alpha Investments. When this card attacks, if you have the choice climax in the climax zone and you have experience 2 or more, look it up to the top 3 cards of your deck, add a 6-face world character from amongst them, add it to hand, and then send the rest to Rating Room. And this turn, this card gets 1500 power, so it'll be attacking at 7500 power.
Yep, so it's pretty typical combo. Good trigger. Actually swings at 7-5, so that's on the higher end of the levels. Check 3 is kind of bad, but I think this is the only combo that's like costless and doesn't have the reverse in this set. This is actually one of your premier choices. I think a lot of sets will choose this combo, and there's a lot of other cards in the booster that will play around having this combo. But I think this card is definitely a 4.
Definitely want to pick this card up, I think.
Yeah.
Next up is this Zerzo Roxy. When it's played from hand, you can choose one of your 6-face world characters and give it 1500 power for the turn. And this also happens to be a climax swapper on play. So, on play, pay 1 digit climax to salvage a climax from your waiting room. Pretty standard card.
Yep, everyone wants a climax swapper in their set. So we got one for Mushoku. The first effect's actually really nice to have, just a big bonus. But besides from that, it doesn't do anything too crazy, so it's just 2. Generic climax swap.
And to round things off for the TD plus, we're gonna have this 3-2 Roxy. So this is a healer on play, and on attack you can pay 2, ditch 2 to burn 2 to your opponent, and this is without a climax combo, which is nice.
Yeah, for off finisher, this card is actually really good, especially for a TD card. Heal and the ability to burn is not something that a lot of cards has access to. So this card is actually kind of really good for a TD card. Burn 2 is just really good number 2. So we'll just give it a 2. I mean, yeah. It's a good off finisher, but it's not something that every deck will probably play.
Yeah. Doesn't require reverse either.
Yeah.
Which is neato. Alrighty. And that's it for the TD Plus cards. We're gonna move on to yellow real quick. And no intermission this time.
Roxy TDSP makes me wet. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
What did I just read?
Oh dear. Oh no. The Roxy fans are coming in. First yellow card. 0-0 Rudy. If you have 5 or more hand, this is 2k power. This gets 2k power, so it'll be 3-5 if you meet the condition. And it can run to your front row center slot at the beginning of your opponent's attack phase. Pretty standard.
Yeah, every set's with like a 3-5 center runner. It's one of the better runner profiles because there's a very high chance that it lives next turn. So I think every set will probably run this. There's other cards that does reference this card, so this is definitely a 4. You'll definitely play it in every deck.
Yeah. Great yellow fixing too. Next up, 3-2 Rudy. If you have 4 more 6-face world characters, this gets -1 level in hand, so it's an early play. If you have 6 or more experience, this gets 1500 power, so it'll be 10-5 base all the time if you meet the condition. And then on play until the end of your opponent's next turn, this gets 4500 power, and and both players can't use backups during battles involving this card.
So this type of profile is becoming more popular lately. You definitely see it a lot in Kaguya, but unfortunately, unlike Shirogane, this card doesn't have a clock kick effect, but it is slightly bigger. But I think not having a clock kick effect prevents this from being as played as in Kaguya, so it's probably just a 2.
Fair enough. Next up is this 0-0 Rudy. So when you play the win climax pictured in the bottom right, you can choose one of your other characters and give it on reverse, check top 4, add 1 6-face world character, and then dump the rest. And then this also has an act ability. You can pay 1, ditch the Paul, 3-2 Paul, pictured below, and rest 2 of your 6-face world characters to salvage up to 2 maid or sister trait characters from your waiting room. Not many of those in the set actually, so your selection's quite limited.
Yeah, I think the set only has like 3 or 4 characters that has maid or sister trait, so your selectivity with this card is pretty bad, especially since those cards weren't that good, if I remember correctly. Paul, you don't even play Paul in a deck besides probably 8 standby, so having a wind climax just makes this Paul's more awkward to play. I feel like this is just a wasted rare slot and a wasted climax slot. It's probably just one.
Yeah, feels bad.
Feels bad.
Next up is a 1/1 Rudy. All of your other Zerzo Aeris and 2/2. I'm just gonna call him Richard.
Richard.
I don't know how it's actually pronounced, but I'm gonna call him Richard. They get 2k power and the ability they can't be targeted by your opponent's effects. And you can pay. This also has an act ability. You can pay 1 rest 2 to cigarettes. So basically, exclamation point cigarettes. It's a salvage effect, a nice salvage effect.
Yep. So we saw this kind of profile recently with Bang Dream. Bang Dream is playing this a lot, but theirs is on a 1/0 instead of 1/1. So you have to pay 1 to play this card, then play another 1 to get your first plus. Does interact with a whole what was their guild name again? Like Dead End. But that package is kind of whatever, just mainly because the Aeris is pretty bad and the Ruger doesn't do enough, I think. So this card is honestly just the 2. It's just fun. It's a fine plussing ability, but the whole engine itself is not that good.
Unfortunate. And we'll probably end up talking about those cards later. Next card, I guess. That's another 1/1 Rudy. He's not wearing an eye patch this time. At the beginning of your climax, at the beginning of your attack phase, if you don't have a climax in your climax zone, you can ditch the Zerzo Rudy runner we talked about earlier to search your deck for up to 1 of the TD choice climax, place it into your climax zone, and then shuffle your deck. And this also happens to be an Adachi, like a stock kicking Adachi. Exclamation point Adachi, guys. Pretty nice. All things considered.
As we said, the Rudy from the trial deck is actually going to be played quite a lot if you're not playing like standby. So this card will always be played along with the Rudy. Just on color Adachi mainly, but the first effect does come up every so often when you need it. So it just adds more consistency to your TD combo. It's a 4 if you're playing the Rudy combo, it's 2 otherwise because it's just a generic Adachi if you're not playing the combo. But again, we'll give it a 4.
Yeah. Assuming you run the combo, of course.
Yep.
Yeah. That sounds fair enough. It's a powerful ability.
Definitely. Not a lot of set has this type of ability
Mhm.
just to be able to play CXs.
Yeah. Next up, it's a 2/1 Rudy. If you have the Roxy Brainstormer pictured in the slide in the back row, has to be in the back row. This gets 3k power, 1 soul, so it'll be a 2/1 10k with 2 soul. And then on attack, if you have the choice climax in your climax zone and you have another 6-face world character, you can salvage a 6-face world character, add it to your hand, and then during this turn, it gets the ability when damage dealt by this card is canceled, it gets 4k cross turn, so it'll become 14k if it cancels.
So usually with these 2/1 combos, you want them to be kind of cracked. They're taking up slots for your 1/0 combo and your 3/2 combos. So you usually want them to either be like a +2 or more, or it gives you some kind of stock back. But this card does neither of that. Sure, you can consider this could be a 14k that lives cross turn, but your opponent has a cancels in order to do that, so it's not even guaranteed to get that 4k power. This is also just like the first climax combo earlier from the booster, just another wasted rare slot and a wasted climax slot, probably just a 1.
All right, moving on. 3/2 Rudy. If you have 2 or less climaxes in your waiting room, this gets -1 level in hand, so an early play. And this is on play. You can ditch a card to heal the top card of your clock into stock. Pretty standard. I think we've seen this card a lot, actually.
Yeah, this card's even played a lot in Kaguya with a K. If you actually want to be like Kage, you can play their Shirogane like clone and then play this as well. Just a generic early play healer, so it's like fine. I'll give it a 4 because I think every deck will still run this, but it's not amazing, so it doesn't push to a 5.
Okay. Yeah. Next up is a 0/0 Rudy. So during your turn, it's a global 5 to all of your 6-face world characters. And you can rest this if you have the pictured 3/2 Rudius in your level zone to draw 1 card, then discard a card.
Okay, I
Interesting.
totally forgot I had this.
Interesting payoff for running, like, I guess 4 copies of this Rudy. What do you think?
Yeah, so the draw dish doesn't actually come online until level 1. And I think it would be much better if the global power was cross turn, but just having your turn is kind of feels bad. This card is all power on your turn, all hand fixing your turn, but doesn't do much off turn. I don't think it does enough. It's probably just a 1.
Okay. We will see more cards that want this Rudy in the level zone, so
Yeah.
we will see how those fare. Next up is this 2/1 Rudy. This is a 2500 power backup, and what just happened?
This guy keeps laughing every time he sees the art.
Pictured is the average Mushoku viewer. Jokes. I'm kidding. So it's a 2500 backup, and when you use it as a backup, you can pay for it, ditch a character to rest one of your opponent's characters. It's a tap counter.
Yeah, so tap counter does see play often. I think within the sets that has it, like ReZero played theirs. Summer Pocket plays their in their 8 standby deck. I think this is definitely a card you'll play in 8 standby. In the other builds, there isn't many other better backup targets, so you'll probably end up playing this as well in those slots. And then every so often you can actually, if you're like sacking a game, you get a bunch of stock, you can use the rest counter effect. It's definitely a good card. You'll probably run in every deck. I think it's gonna be like a 4.
Yeah. To note, you can. This is decent synergy with choice too, because
Yeah, you can grab it off choice, or you can build stock with choice. You can use it.
Yeah. Sounds fair enough. Next card is this 3/2 Paul. Wait. Okay. All right, I'm tripping. He has a beauty mark just like Rudy. I'm sure that means nothing. I have not watched the show, by the way. So if this is in the front row, all of your 6-face world characters, including this card, get 1500 power. So this will be 10k in the front row. And then this also happens to have Twin Drive on attack. You can pay 1 to trigger check twice. And during this card's battle, when you take damage that is canceled, you can mill the top card of your deck. In fact, milled card has a soul trigger. You can ditch a card to burn the same amount of damage you would have taken back to your opponent.
It's the biggest payoff for playing 8 standby. Level front row 1/5 is always nice for standby. Twin Drive makes so you can trigger standby more, and then just a boss turn effect, on your opponent's turn effect, just to give you more damage is always nice, especially since it's low cost to discard a character if you do hit the mill. Mill is mandatory. The only problem with this card is that it's pretty small, and being only 8/5 will 10k with the effect. But this is definitely your payoff for 8 standby. And every 8 standby that will be playing this. It doesn't deserve enough to hit a 5-star. Yeah, we'll go for that. I think it's a 5-star worthy. It is your biggest payoff for playing 8 standby.
It is very special. Like most of these cards like this don't get like these kinds of effects tacked on.
It has a lot of good effects that synergize the standby. So if you're playing standby, this is definitely the reason why you're playing standby.
Yeah. Is Paul a 5-star dad? I'm just reading the chat, man. Next card is this 0/0 Rudy. Your other character in the center slot gets 1500 power. all the time. And then at the beginning of your attack phase, if you don't have a climax in your climax zone, you can ditch the pictured 0-0 vanilla Sylphiette to search for the bar climax for the 1-0 combo and put it in your climax zone and then shuffle your deck. I guess this is dependent on how good the combo is, right?
To be honest, it's not that good.
Okay, well, it's not good.
And you're playing bar
vanilla.
anyway, so it's like there's a good chance bar is like the trigger that helps you find your level 1 combo the easiest compared to all the other triggers. So it's like summoning from deck, right? Yeah. Summon for deck. The bar CX is like kind of whatever. And the worst part is you're playing in vanilla. So I think even if you play the bar combo, you don't play it just because it forces you to run a garbage vanilla. This is probably one.
All right, fair enough. So, a 1?
Yeah.
I assume. All right. Unfortunate. Next up, 0-0 Lilia. This is a maid. This is one of the few maid trait characters in the set, so able to be gotten off that Rudy from earlier. That interacts with a Paul, I think. So this Lilia, you can rest this to choose one of the characters and give it on reverse stock kick. Send the bottom card of their stock to the waiting room.
It's on reverse stock kick, yeah.
Yeah, and then you can also ditch an event and rest this to salvage a 6-face world character from your waiting room. There are a lot of events in the set, actually, I think. So interesting concept.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of good events too. So the second effect that will come up, because a lot of the good events are like higher level. So this card will help you unclog your hand early game. The first effect's also still really good in the meta. It denies a lot of cards that goes to memory or has on-death effects, or it just removes card that has on-card as well. I don't know if you have backward slots, but if you do and you're playing events, this is definitely a card you want to pick up. I think it's a 3 depending on your slots and the events you run.
Could work with the Rudy early play we talked about earlier to give it like an actual removal effect. Definitely something to keep an eye on. Next up is this 0-0 Rudy. On play from hand, you can choose one of your other 6-face world characters and give it 1k power for the turn. And then when you play a climax, any climax, you can bounce this back to your hand to look it up to the top 2 cards of your deck, rearrange them in any order, and then give one of your characters 1k power for the turn. Wow. That's a really good bounce back effect.
Yeah, so usually the bounce back effects on play get rearranged, and then you give a just strict 2k to one character. This is a splittable 1k. You can give the power even if you're not playing the slamming down climax. Is sometimes useful. It's definitely a card you're gonna run 8 standby. I don't know if you've played this in the other decks, but for mainly 8 standby is a card you're gonna play, so it's probably gonna be a 4.
Bro, this card's
like
this card's
splittable
pretty good.
1k means you can answer multiple lanes if you need only 1k multiple lanes.
This is a common, by the way.
Yeah, it's kind of cracked.
Next, yeah, I agree. I think I agree with the rating. Next up, 1-0 Aisha and Norn. This is a sister trait character, referenced by the card we talked about way back. On play, all players resolve the following effect. If you have 5 or more memory, choose 4 cards from your memory and then send all the other cards in your memory to the waiting room. And every time another 6-face world character attacks, this turn, this card itself gets 2k power, so it'll cap at 8k base if it's the last attacker. So
swinging 8k is actually kind of nice. The first effect's only relevant if the meta calls for it, which I don't think the meta will call for it since it's Icono. So besides from that, it's just an 8k attacker. I think it's just decent, just a 2.
Yeah, fair enough.
You put a 3-star. You deleted the 2-star? This man deleted the 2-star from his...
Oh no.
Wait, where the 2-star go?
Wait, 2-star is like the most common one too? Okay, goodbye.
Alright, well.
There you go.
Alright. Moving on to the next card. 2/1 Zenith. This is a level assist in front, and then on play is a bond, keyword bond. You can ditch a card to get the 3/2 Rudius, pictured below the early play, or the 3/2 Paul, the global 15. And then you can also rest this to give one of your, either Rudy or Paul 2,500 power for the turn, which is a lot of power, actually. Wow. Like, she's the mom?
Yeah, she's the mom.
What's the UA? Are you gonna sing or what?
Rudy's mom.
Rudy from Alpha Investments, mom.
Okay, so it's a level
This
assist.
is hella lewd.
It bonds. Bonding to the 3/2 Rudius is actually really nice. It means you can access him in more ways. And then the power pump means that the turn after your Rudius lives, because it gains power crossing, he's still a relevant attacker, being able to attack at... He's 10-5 base, adds 1-5, so he's swinging 12, and then 14-5 again after the turn you use him. So this is the reason why the 3/2 Rudius would be really good in your deck. I feel bad for giving the 3/2 Rudius such a low number now that I'm remembering all these cards.
Oh, shoot.
I think they're both 3s at least.
All right. Revising the rating, retroactively giving the Rudy a 3. Yeah, I agree. This is some great synergy, like just straight up raw power on command. Really nice. Next up is our first event of the set. It's a 1/1 event. Oh my god. I just realized. So you send us to memory, and at the beginning of your climax phase, if this is a memory, choose one of your Rudy characters and give it 2,500 power for the turn. I assume this is flavor.
The Holy Relic.
Yeah. All right.
I see.
I see.
This is the reason why Rudius gains spirit. He's able to keep
him
working
power.
on
Gives him power.
after Roxy left him. He kept this, and he's going on strong. That's why it gives Rudius 2/5. It's his holy relic, his holy gift. It's all flavor. The card sucks. It's a 1, but it's amazing art for the degenerates, not me. It's for UA.
Alright, want to buy 4 copies?
Want to sell Roxy's panties? Where's the bathwater card? Next up is another event. Second event of yellow. 2/1 event. If you don't have a 6-base world character, you can't play this card from hand. Sure. Send us to memory. Sure. And then you can salvage up to X characters from your waiting room, add them to your hand, and X is the number of this event in your memory.
So I already see some mention of this in the chat. This is like Hishimochi, but Hishimochi is a counter and searches instead of just a salvage. So it's not as good, but it still is just a hand fixed first one, and you start plussing a bunch of this. And this plus the other Soviet we'll go over later, you can actually build up a decent amount of memory. I don't know if this will be auto included to every deck. I will probably play this myself in my first few attempts. So I think this is a 3.
All right.
We'll see if being a level 2 is too late for this type of effect.
And our final yellow card. This is a 3/5. What the? 3/5 event. Is that the dot? Wait. Okay. Well, 3/5 event. If you don't have a 6-base world character, you can't play this from hand. And then perform the following 3 abilities in any order. First ability. Choose one of your opponent's characters. And then stand it and move it to an empty slot, or swap it with one of your opponent's characters. Effect 2 is stock swap. Effect 3 is a 1-card Fumio.
The legended stock swap Fumio that everyone fears since Love Live and Konosuba, all in 1 card. It's pretty expensive though, and it's kind of weird because this card is supposed to be God, but God actually doesn't help him much.
Oh, that's God?
Yeah, that's supposed to be the God who sends Rudy to
I see. Okay.
Yeah. This card's, I think, could be really good if you can build stock for it, but we have to see if there's a deck that can actually like build up enough resources to play this, because 3-5 is a hefty cost, but it is a very strong effect. I think it'll be sitting at a 3 for now. I think a lot of people will definitely test this and see if it's worth keeping it in as a slot.
All right.
What's the third effect? Oh, with a third effect, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that was it for yellow. We'll start with green then, right? We good? UA?
Yeah.
Alrighty. First up for green. This is 0-0 Sophia. It's a global 5 to all your characters. And you can pay 1 sentence to memory to check up to the top 3 cards of your deck, add a 6-face world character from the 3, add it to your hand, and then dump the rest of the waiting room.
Wait, I totally forgot this has a global 5 effect on it. But memory compression, there's a lot of card that requires this card in memory. Next card specifically also references this. This kind of profile is often played in a lot of decks that has access to them. Just because the memory compression, you can get the mill you need, the stock out you need, and then this card won't be in your way anymore. So this is definitely, I think, a 4. You'll definitely run this in your deck. I think every single deck will be ending up running this unless you're playing like Pants Choice, maybe.
All right. And a big boost to any cards that require that in memory, of course. Next is this 1-0 Sylphiette. So we talked about this card a little bit when we talked about that Rudy that searches for this bar from the deck. But here it is. So when this card reverses a character and you have the bar pictured, you can look it up at the top 4 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 6-face world character from amongst those cards, add it to your hand, send the rest to the waiting room, and then choose one of your characters to give it 2k power for the turn. And then on attack, if you have the Sylphiette we talked about just now in your memory, this gets 2k power for the turn. So it'll be attacking at 75, and the rest will be plus 2k, depending on whether you get the reverses.
Yeah, so Minami combo. I don't know if if we have that for hash exclamation point Minami. Probably we don't. But this combo used to be popular back in like Item Master, but nowadays it's like, why go to the effort to get reverse when TD combo just gets it for free? There is some bar support in the set, but I don't think there's enough to make this combo warranted. Overall, this combo is just like a 2.
Uh-oh. These last
Rip.
2.
He didn't fix
Rip.
it yet. What the?
Wait, oh my god. All right. Next card. 3-2 Richard. Richard. On play from hand. This turn, all of your opponent's characters gets minus X power, and X is equal to that character's level times 1k. And then on attack, this is a climax combo. If you have the bar pictured in the climax zone, you can this is actually just Mocha, straight up Mocha. Right? Yeah, this is look it up at the top 2 cards from the top of your opponent's deck. Rearrange, choose up to 2 cards from amongst them, send them to the waiting room. Or no, put them on top of your deck in any order, and then send the rest to waiting room, and then look it up at the top 2 cards of your deck, choose up to 2 of them, rearrange them on the top of the deck in any order, then send the rest to waiting room. So you can like mix and match and rearrange, both you and your opponent's decks.
Yes. So there's a card that you will have to talk about to specifically rate this. There's another card that's an early play healer that can change into this one card. That's what makes this card better, because you can get a level 2, you get the heal 2, and you get the minus power, so it would beat over walls at level 2.
I see.
That is the biggest draw to this, because you can play like Simple Gear, where they also have like an early play Mocha, but this one allows you to fix your triggers, and you do the whole play where Bang Dream does, where you can stack it so that you have a CX at the end of your turn, so you can get a guaranteed cancel next turn. So I think that's really good, because Mocha combo lets you push more damage in the mid game, and then having your own rearrange means you can cancel more at your level 2 compared to the simple gear one, which is just all damage, not much heal, and you don't get that protection. So I think this card is actually really good. I think if you're playing Bard, this is the Bard top end, not the other one. We'll see later. I will actually play this for my first trial of this set. I think this combo is actually really good.
All right.
I'll give it a 4 for now.
Okay. Nice. Next up, another 0-0 Sylphiette. She's sweating a little bit here. If you have the Sylphiette we talked about, the very first green card in your memory, this is a global 5. And this is a pay 1 rest 2 brainstorm that hits on this is a pay 1 rest 2 search brainstorm that mills 5 but hits on bars. Payoff for 8 bar deck, I guess.
Yeah, this is the reason you'd play the level 1 combo, besides the budget wise. Global 5 is nice, but that's not much else besides that. Overall, this card's like a 2. It's just a generic profile that's your biggest payoff for running 8 bars.
Okay. Next up, 0-0 Richard. On play from hand, you can ditch a card or put one of your cards in hand into clock to search for a 6-face world character and add it to your hand. We've seen this kind of profile a lot.
Yeah. So this set actually does not have any like Ricky like profiles, which is actually kind of weird because we haven't missed one of those in like a long time. So this is not a plus like an actual Ricky, but it is a search that could be helpful. I think it's just generically good, but it's nothing amazing, just 2.
Sounds good. Next up is another Richard. It's a 2/2/2/1. It has 1 soul, by the way, just keep that in mind. This is the package with the Zerzo Aeris and the 1/1 Rudy we talked about. They're like the guild, right? Dead End or something. I've not watched the show. So the first effect is this is an early play if you have the Rudy and the Aeris on board. Neo. And if you have both of those cards, this gets +1 soul, so it gets it back, and the following 2 abilities. The first ability, during this card's battle, your opponent can't play events from hand. And when this card direct attacks, you can stock a 6-face world character from your waiting room into you can just stock a 6-face world character from your waiting room. Pretty powerful effect. We've seen this a few times on 2/2s. What do you make of this package?
Yeah, so this is your biggest payoff for running the Dead End package. It's the best card of the 3, but it's solely fallen down because of how bad the Aeris is. She doesn't do anything really. I know I was watching Rintaro's stream, a popular Japanese player. He tried using this combo, but then ended up just scrapping it. I probably won't test this out myself, for at least not the first few attempts at making 8 standby. I think the early play doesn't really mean a whole lot. Yeah, an early play could be useful, but you're committing 2 stock to gain 1 stock back over time. So overall, I think this is a 3. This is the main reason why you play the package, but the package itself doesn't seem that good to me.
All right. Next card.
3. I could have said 2.
Next up is a 3/2 Sylphiette. If you have 2 or more of the pictured, the memory, the Sylphiette that goes to memory, if you have 2 or more of those in your memory, this gets 1500 power and Hana Core, so it'll be 11k Hana Core all the time if you meet the condition. And then on play, you can pay 1 to stock swap your opponent.
Yeah, actually one of the better stock swap profiles I think for level 3s. Because it's 11k Hana Core. It's also a good standby target actually.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not the biggest fan of level 3 stock swaps these days anymore. I mean, you always auto-include it because it's stock swap, but it's like not as useful as potentially other stock swaps throughout the game. But it's one of the better ones. But it does make it much better to move it up to a 4-star, I think. I think it's just a 2-star, especially since we already have another stock swap that was shown in the event earlier.
Fair enough. Next card. 3-2 Richard. If you have the Rudy Runner in your clock, this gets -1 level in hand, and this heals the bottom card of your clock to the waiting room on play. And at the beginning of your climax phase, you can bounce this back to your hand to play to change into the 3-2 climax combo Richard from your hand. So this is, you alluded to this earlier. This is the way to get this out early and to also, you know, get a heal out of like the I guess the combo itself. Seems neat.
Yeah,
Like
I think
pretty good like payoff.
yeah, this is the main card that actually makes the combo good. So obviously I'm gonna give it a 4. Otherwise it's just generic EP healer, it's just 9-5. It's kind of bad. But in the Rudius, as I said, the card is probably gonna be a 4 of in every deck. There's like no downside to play this.
It's super nice that it bounces back to hand too, because you'll get to heal at least one more time.
Yeah, I know what Ryan told me before. Well, what play you can do is like, if you play this in standby, you can early play it. Then you use change bounce in hand. You don't even have to change the card, so you just open a slot so you can standby something.
The plays.
Yeah.
All right, I'm down. This is a cool card.
Definitely.
Look out for it. Next up, 3-2 Sylphiette. The character across to this gets -1 soul. If you have 3 or more memory, 3 or more cards in memory, this gets 1k power, so it'd be 11k. And then when this reverses a character with the pictured bar in your climax zone, and you have 2 or more 6-face world characters, heal 1, and then until the end of your opponent's next turn, the character across from this gets -1 soul. So like a classic -2 soul combo, essentially.
Yeah, personally, I'm not vibing with this card at all. I think my soul card combos are like not that good in general, and this one's even worse because you have to get it reversed. That's the thing I hate about this. So if you want this card to constantly keep going, you need to get reverses, right? So then your opponent's, you also want this to live so you can loop the combo. So your opponent's crashing in, now you can't reverse stuff, so you can't get the combo again. But if your opponent beats over this, now you have to use resources to grab this card again. There's a card that lets you bring this out at level 2, just like the Richard. Oh my god. The Richard. But I think if you're playing a bar top and you'd rather play the Rigid than this. They both just come out early, but this defensive card that has to reverse is much weaker than the offensive Mocha.
Unfortunately, this also gets the -1 soul blanked by blinkers, which are pretty common now. So
yeah, I mean at least you get the constant -1 soul, but I don't think
that's true.
That does much anymore. I think this card is a 2 still. Like okay if you want to play it, but I think it's definitely weaker compared to Richard.
2-star, you can do that? All right, you can. Next up.
Have you not fixed it yet?
0-0 Sylphiette. On play, choose up to one of your opponent's characters, send his memory, and then your opponent places that character on stage in any slot. So, like a classic like blinker profile that we've seen a lot. And then on play, it has another on play effect. You can ditch a climax to salvage a 6-face world character from your winning room. Pretty nice as far as blinkers go.
Yeah, blinkers always want a good like primary effect to make it worthwhile to have play a blinker, and this primary effect is really good. I think if you're playing pants top end, you're playing bar top end, you definitely include this deck. It's pretty generic though, so it's just a 2, but it's a nice one. It's a nice 2.
Next, 0-0 Guild Actually, is that her name or their name? Okay.
Yeah,
Guild
I don't think they
Receptionist.
ever gave her an official name in the anime or the main
Oh my
novel or
god,
anything.
that's so sad.
Yeah, she's
All
just
right.
a receptionist.
So on play from hand, if you play the skilled receptionist, if you have 2 or more other six-face world characters, you may draw one, then discard a card. And this is a spammable search brainstorm for six-face world characters.
I think this is definitely one of the better spammable profiles. Just because of the first effect, you usually play spammable brainstorms because you want to have the hand filter as well, and as well as stock out. But this also gives you additional hand filter just being for on play. Definitely, I think you can afford to play this in standby. I don't know if you can afford to play this in other decks, but this is one of the few costless ditch out level 0s, as well as being able to get costed ditch out if you want to as well.
Pretty underrated. You know, I think a lot of people underestimate how important being able to pay out climaxes are, especially in like standby. So, not a bad utility.
But then you have other ways to pay out climaxes that we'll go over too later in the set. It's not as important. I think this is a good profile though. I'll just give it a 2 though.
Next card. Another 2. Are you okay? Next card. Speaking of UA, Village Fools. On attack, if you have 1 or less other character, you can mill 1. And if that card you milled was a level 0 or lower character, you play it on stage in any backward slot. And then you can, as an act, oh shit, it is Machamp. Holy. Pokemon Unite stream? So as an act, you can ditch one, send this to the waiting room to salvage a six-face world character.
It's a profile that the first spec you only use it for first few turns, but it's not that good in my opinion. And then you have it's still useful throughout the game with the second effect. I think both effects are pretty mediocre though, but it's like combined them together, they're like average at best. I think just
also, speaking of UA, someone Photoshop UA's face onto this card. Next up, 00P Hunters. P Hunters, yeah, nice.
Hunters.
Always nice to be. What a nice job title. While this is on stage, this card's name is also treated as Dead End Richard. I see. Spoilers? All of your opponent's characters get 2 stock encore, and then on play from hand, you can choose a card in your hand and add it to stock. This is a 3,500 power card.
One thing I noticed on Twitter is that there's a profile like this as the double R in JoJo, but it only gains 1/5 on turn, and so it's only 3/5 on turn. Well, this is 3/5 cross turn. This is an uncommon versus that's being rare. A double R. That's pretty sad for JoJo, but this card still sucks. I mean, and stock's okay, but I've only seen it really used in Psychono. I'll give it a 2.
All right.
2 at best. I'm pushing it for a 2.
Yeah. It's also an oversized. You know, it's like decent.
I think
it's
the
like decent
name
enough.
is the same name as the 2/2 Richard.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Plays? The plays?
So I actually gained an extra 2k from the 1/1 Rudy. And I'll have hexproof.
all right.
I remember if that's confirmed or not, because I was too lazy to look it up when I translated this.
Fair enough. I'm sure
So
someone
can
will let us know.
Confirm in the chat.
Next up, 1-0 Sylphiette. During a turn, if you have a card in memory, this gets 2,500 power and the following ability. On attack, if it's attacking a level 2 character, this gets 6k power, so it would be 11/5, just from the first effect. And then the next effect, if you have the 3/2 Rudius in your level zone, this gets 1k power and can be played without meeting any color requirements. Wow. So it'll be 12/5, if assuming you meet the experience condition. Interesting, but ultimately a standard card, probably.
Wait, doesn't it hit bigger than 12/5? It's 11k, 13k, right?
Oh no, yeah, you're right, 13k.
6k, 6k, 1k,
I can't do
13k.
math. I can't do math. So 12k and then 13k.
So even if you don't play a Rudius, it's still 12k. So that's still a relevant attacking power. not as good as 13k, obviously. Not having meat color requirements is actually nice if you're not gonna play like a green heavy deck. That could actually come up. If you're playing like yellow blue and you're playing the EP Rudius anyway, you can still run this card. Level 2 beaters are always nice, especially in the meta where it's standby heavy, which if you follow Japanese meta, it kind of is. So this card is actually really good. Does it hit 4-star level? Probably not. It's just a 2. 2k beaters are always nice.
Agreed. Next card. 2/1 Sylphiette. If you have another character with Rudy in the name, Rudius in the name, sorry, I have to be very specific. This gets 6k power, so it'll be 2/1 9/5. If you have a Rudius on board. And then when you play the bar pictured, is this the same? Oh, it's a change. This is the change. So you can pay when you play the bar, you can pay 1 send this to memory if you have another 6-face world character to change or essentially play the pictured 3/2 Sylphie combo from your waiting room in this card's performer slot. So that card is the -1 soul combo that also combos with the same climax. So this is how you get this card out at level 2.
Yes. So basically, the first effect's kind of irrelevant.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. That's a weird one.
You're rarely ever gonna field this as an actual attacker. You're probably gonna change this every time you get. This profile reminds me of Psychono Set 1, and I did not like that.
Uh-oh.
That was bad. But at least the actual target you change into much better than Psychono's one from Set 1.
Yeah.
But overall, I think the combo is not worth it compared to playing the red shirt top end. So I still just give it a 2 to go along with the 3/2.
Sounds good. Next card. 0/0 Richard. On play from hand, ditch a card to salvage the pictured 1/1 green event. And then this is a level 0 1k backup.
What was the event again? Oh yeah, it was that. Hey, the event's not that good. So this card's not that good.
Unfortunately.
I'll give it a 1.
Also, 1k backups are also just not that good.
Yeah, people 1k backup
Unfortunately.
almost gives you like no protection. No reliable protection.
Next card. What the heck is this card? Uma Musume? 0/0 Noko Para. On play. Console that hits on 6-face world characters or events. Exclamation point console. Dude, My Little Pony? Yue!
Yo, Tom, I didn't know you commissioned Bushiro to put you on a card.
Dude, nice try, dude. That guy does not have black hair.
Why is hair color matter? Console.
I didn't know Yue
Vanilla
was
console?
such a mean person.
Yeah. Vanilla console is just never enough by itself.
Yeah.
It needs to do more. It's just a 1.
Yeah. Next up, Noko Para, huh?
Noko Para.
1/0 Sylphiette. If you have another character with Rudius or Sylphiette in the name, this gets 3k power. 1065. Just rated, I guess.
Yeah. 6/5 cross turn. Generic. Okay. But you probably don't play us. 1.
Yep. 1/0 Sylphiette. If you have 2 or more other 6-face world characters, this gets 1k power, so it'll be vanilla size, based on the continuous ability. And then when this attacks and you have a 0/0 Sylphiette in your memory, the one that goes in memory we talked about before, first screen card, you can choose one of your 6-face world characters to give it 2k power for the turn. One of your other characters, for the record.
Yes. I think you definitely play this if you're playing the bar level 1. Matches color, it helps you get reverses, definitely nice. Outside of that specific level 1 combo, you probably don't play this at all. It's probably a 2 to match the combo.
Next up is a 1/1 Richard. This is a 2k backup. It's a Leafa counter, so you console when you use the backup. Pretty standard.
Yeah, Leafa counters. 1/1 Leafa counters, I actually like them a lot. but they're pretty generic now. That's just the two.
Mm-hmm. Seems very distressed.
He's a bit pissed. That's UA when he's taking a shit.
Why do I get you roasted?
One's Fiat. On play for hand, if you have two or less cards in memory, you can choose the pictured 0/0 Sylphiette from your waiting room and send it to memory. And then this is a clock kick swapping Adachi.
Say that. You want to try saying that again? Clock kick swapping Adachi.
Clock kick swapping Adachi.
Okay, it mainly just play for the Adachi effect. Getting the card memory is like nice, but you usually just do it yourself anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Just like a 2 then?
Just a 2, yeah. Generic Adachi
Yeah.
profile. You're playing green.
Yep. Next, another 1/1 Sylphiette. Wow, this card looks nice. I think it's part of the promo art for the poster.
Nice.
This is a level assist in front, and then when you trigger check a bar, you can draw one, ditch one.
Not one. It's an okay bar filter, but that's all it is. Just a bar filter with a level assist attached to it. It's pretty nice, but generic. Just a 2.
Yep. 2/1 Richard. If you have the pictured 1/1 event in your memory, this gets 4,500 power, so it'll be 9/5 all the time if you have that card in your memory. And then on attack, if you have the salvage split soul in your climax zone, we haven't seen these in a while, you can salvage a 6-face world character from your waiting room and then add it to stock and then reveal the top card of your deck. And if that card was a 6-face world character or the 1/1 event, add it to hand.
Yeah, as I said about 2/1 comms before, you need to either +2 or get yourself a stock back. This does give you your stock back, but the plus, it's so low quality, it's not worth running. I mean, it gets the climax itself gives you a plus though.
That's true, but it's also, I mean, not a great trigger, unfortunately.
Yeah, 2 soul triggers is kind of bad unless you have something to support it.
Yeah.
So
And the 1/1
honestly
event
just a
is
one.
not that good.
A wasted climax slot, but at least not a wasted rare slot like all the Rudy combos.
Yep. Next is this event, 1/1 event. So when you play it, give one of your characters 4K for the turn. This is not a counter, by the way. Sag. Set this to memory, and then at the beginning of your main phase, if this is in your memory, you may check up to the top 2 cards of your deck and then rearrange them top in any order.
Mainly nice for the rearrange effect, but if it's worse.
You don't even get it the turn you play it though.
Yeah, that's. If only it was like start clan. And my start main phase is better over time, but it's the worst for the first turn.
Unfortunately, it's just like it's just you're paying 1 and then minusing 1 for like that. Yeah, it's just kind of unfortunate, I think.
If only it was like Assault Lily where you can get the main phase look and then you also get the attack phase look. Before you don't, so this card's a 1.
Yeah.
Waste of resource, waste of slot.
Next, our final card in green, 2/1 Sylph event. You can't play this. This is a counter. You can't play this from hand if you have 1 or less 6-face world characters. Very hard condition to meet. You need 2 or more characters to play it. You perform one of the following 2 abilities. Effect A, give one of your characters 4K power for the turn. So this can be a 4K event counter. And then the second effect is a little more interesting. Effect B is you may discard another copy of this card, and if you did that, give one of the battling characters the following ability. This cannot deal damage to players, so anti-damage.
Yeah. Money counter. I think this is the one that's in Dog Days, but I don't know enough about Dog Days to even know if this sees plays.
It did not see play in Dog Days because getting a second copy of the card is actually kind of hard.
Well, at least it's a 4K a backup at least. Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Like you can defend 1 or 2 early plays with this card, and sometimes you have 2 of this. You can actually get the anti-damage effect off somehow. I actually think if you're playing green, this might be a consideration. I think it's a 3. It could be good, but it could also just be very bad.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that was green. Well, red starts off with this Zerzo Aeris. So during your turn, if this is a marker, this gets 2k power, so it'll be 3/5 during your turn. And then on play from hand, reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is a 6-face world character or the 1/1 Aeris event pictured below, you can put it underneath this card face down as a marker. And this is a clean cut.
Exclamation point, clean cut.
Pretty good card.
You know, I initially thought this was going to be a 4K, but then it lost 500 power because it clean cuts any character not traded.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's unfortunate.
Are you
It's only
sad about that?
3/5. Yeah, I was pretty sad about that. After I translated it, then I look at the power. I was like, what could have been?
That's so greedy.
Yeah. I also wish it kept the power cross turn. That would be nice too.
Wow, this guy is so greedy.
It could have been so good, but it ended up just being
Dude.
like.
All right, dude. So what's the rating, bro?
Okay, so it's better than Rem Clean Cut, I think, because at least this removes a clean card from top of the deck, so you get a 5-card brainstorm that people love doing. But I don't think that does enough to push it to a 5, so it's just a 4. You definitely play this.
Wow.
One of the better Blessing level 0, but it could have been a 5, but it was not.
4. Oh, wow, dude. So bad.
It could have been.
Unplayable. Next card. Oh shit. Lots of views. 1/1 Aeris. If all of your characters are a 6-face world, this gets 2k power, so it'll be 7/5. And when you play the pictured standby in your climax zone, and this is in the front row, and you have another entree character, mill 2, or you cigarettes, basically, at that point.
Exclamation point. Cigarettes.
Cigarettes. It's a plussing standby combo, but on a 1/1 this time, not like on a 1/0.
So you can summon this with a standby, and then during your combo, when you hit level 1 or whenever you want, actually, you can just slam a standby down and gain a plus. It's really nice. Some people might not like this because it doesn't have the hand-on core, but I think hand-on core 1/1's like okay. Like you hand-on core 1/1 so that you can use them in your turn after, but this gives you a plus, so you get more use out of it, I think.
Yeah.
There's another card that lets you plus in standby, which we'll go over later. I don't know if this card would actually see that much play, but I'll give it 3 for now. I think it definitely could end up being really good, or some people just might not play this, like other 1/1 standby combos. I mean, other standby combos. 3.
Yep. Not a 2.
Not a
Next
2.
up,
This guy still hasn't fixed it.
3/2 Ghislaine. You know, if we get to 250 viewers, Yue will fix the 2 stars as well. 3/2 Ghislaine. During your turn, if you have 4 or more other 6-face world characters, this gets 5k power and the following ability. During this card's battle, your opponent can't use events or backups from hand. Also on play, this is a healer, so heals 1 on play. And then on attack with the standby, you could pay 2 to burn 2. Decent. I think the first threat's really good, actually.
Yes, it's actually incredibly good. The only unfortunate part is that when you're playing standby, this is pretty small at only 9k.
Yeah.
But then the first effect means you basically kill anything you want. Basically.
Yep.
Especially since
And
you
no
play
events,
standby.
no events, no backups too.
You play a Rudius, you bounce back, you have 2 of these 1ks, and you get the 2k assist in the back. This thing's swinging for huge numbers.
Maybe even might be even a little bit too big. Like, what cards actually get it that big? But it's a little bit of future proofing. No events backups are really nice too. There are a lot of really good events or backups people are
and
playing
heals
now.
too.
Yeah, just good stuff.
I think this might be a 5. I think it's enough good abilities.
Woo!
The only thing you would really want this is if it gained power cross turn 2, but that's a fine. It's basically answers everything. It heals and it burns. Cheek burn too. definitely good.
Agreed. Next up, this Zerzo Aeris. So this is a Cheery for level 1 or higher cards. Exclamation point Cheery. Pretty standard. That's all it does, by the way.
Yeah, these profiles are printed a lot nowadays. It's now at the point where it's pretty generic, especially these vanilla ones without a second effect. I mean, it's just a two generic profile. If we didn't label 3 as something else, I probably would said it was a 3. A 2 is for generics.
Yep. Next card, 1-0 Ghislaine. For every other 6-face world character, this gets 500 power, so 6k all the time if you have full board. This has accelerate ability, so at the beginning of your climax phase, you can clock the top card of your deck to give this card 1k power, and then on reverse, check top 4, add 1 6-face world character, and then dump the rest. We've seen this before, kind of, in like Excel World, and a few other times.
You can play it like how Sora plays their Accelerate. You can help yourself accelerate to level 2. And then this kit's more power than Elizabeth as well, so it actually swings at 7k oftentimes. And then it means if you're playing standby, you don't need to play a level 1 combo, and this will get you your plus. So this is the main reason why you might not play the 1-1 Aeris. I think this card you definitely played regardless in a standby, just to help you accelerate yourself to level 2 and just get you pluses when you need it.
Also, like some pretty decent mill as well.
Yeah, good mills too. I think this is a 4.
Sweet. I think this is also pretty playable in like non-standby decks that are like red, but not sure how common those are going to be. So
yeah, if you play red, you might play this in non-standby decks.
Next up, 2-1 Ghislaine. This is a 2500 backup, and this is an anti-change counter. When you can pay 2, sack a character on stage to anti-change one of your opponent's characters, just sending it to the waiting room, unfortunately.
Yeah, anti-change, very generic profile. At least it's not the cringy discard 2 characters one, so it's just a 2.
Yeah. Next, 2-2 Ghislaine. So many Ghislaine cards.
I think she's pronounced
character...
Ghislaine.
Huh?
You don't
Is
pronounce
she Ghislaine?
I think, yeah.
Is it silent?
S.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, silent S.
Ghislaine?
Ghislaine, yeah.
Ghislaine. 2-2 Ghislaine. For every other back row 6-face swirl character, this gets 2k power, so it's 9k base. A little small for a 2-2, but there's one more ability that is really cool. This happens to be a global. It gives all of your other 6-face swirl characters 1k power, which is not very common actually. We see this a lot in like at level 2 with like level 3s that are globals and give power, but not so much at level 1 with like a big 2-2, right?
Yeah. This reminds me of Slime, Standby Slime. One of the appeals to that deck is that all your standby targets are good front row and good back row characters. So this is essentially the same thing as that. I think this card might not see play because it's small herself, but it also might see play because Global 1k could... Stacking a bunch of Global 1k actually snowballs real hard.
Yeah, that is like a bit of a problem with some 2-2s that like they don't end up affecting your board if you trigger too many standbys.
But this can snowball real hard.
Yeah.
You trigger a lot
Makes your 1-1's really big too. You know, 8-5.
Yeah, so yeah.
Nothing to scoff at.
When you're doing combo, you just slam on standby this out. Now your 1-1s are 8-5, and maybe you don't care about the hand encore, losing the hand encore anymore.
Yeah.
I think
What
it's
do you
a
want to
3.
give this?
Yeah, 3
A
for
3?
now.
All right.
It could go up or it could go down. In my opinion, yeah.
Alrighty. Sounds good. Next up, 3-2 Aeris. So this is an early play if you have 2 or fewer climaxes in your waiting room. If you have 2 or more other 6-face world characters, this also gets 1500 power, and when this becomes reversed, you can ditch a card that bounces back to your hand. Cool. And then finally, on play, reveal the top card of your deck, and if that card was a 6-face world character or the pictured 1-1 event, deal 1 damage to your opponent.
Yeah, so it's a loopable burn that's early play. So you can start getting burns off at level 2 to accelerate the game. I'm not quite too familiar with these kind of profiles, being able to use them at level 2. I think the only other set that can do that is like Soccer War, and we all know how that set went.
What's cool
think
with this card is it's 11k, right? I think the
Yeah.
power is like kind of maybe the main attraction here.
Yeah,
the
even
burn
it's
is,
like
like,
standby.
extra.
Yeah, 11k hand on cord. Then if the opponent does answer it, then now you can get a burn. If your opponent just answers this.
What do you want to give it?
I also give it a 3. I think it's like Ghislaine, where it could see use, but I don't know if it's going to be used.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Pretty uncommon profile for early place. Next is another 3/2 Aeris. On play from hand, you can salvage the pictured door from your waiting room, and during this turn, this gets 1k power, so it'll be 11k the turn it's played. And then when this card's damage isn't canceled, and you have the door climax, you can pay 1, ditch 1 to burn 1. A little underwhelming, seems like.
Yeah. And does it have a... yeah, it does have an on-play, because it's salvaged at the gate. I think the main appeal of this is that you can run, like, 1 or 2 doors, and then
right.
you can play a 6 standby, one of those types of
Standby
deck.
2 door. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And can easily tutor its own climax. And you just splash this as, like, 1 or 2 of. Maybe you get the combo effect off. Combo itself is pretty underwhelming. I'd probably give this a 2 because it's underwhelming, but it allows you to splash stuff.
Is this once per turn?
No, it's not once per turn.
I see.
I think
So you
this-
can keep
this
doing
is
it
the-
if.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like, if you do damage this deck, then you just keep rolling until
Yeah.
your opponent cancels.
I see. What did you give it?
2 for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next up is this Zerzo Aeris. The last and unfortunately least part of this engine, I think. If you have another 1/1 Rudy in your back row, this gets 2k power, so it'll be 3k. And then if you have another 2/2 Richard, this gets 3k power, so it'll be 6k power, level 0. Wow.
Yeah, except you
If you
can't
have
hit that
anything.
power level 0. That's the problem.
It's the one, right?
It's a 1. It doesn't do any. Level 0 does nothing. Level 0 does nothing. Level 1 you might get cheeky and this can be big, but it's not big enough to be relevant.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah,
still
I think I
loses to
agree.
bombs. It
Sad.
doesn't gain level.
Dude, if they stock here's the real Sag play. Your opponent level 0 stock bomb, like removal bombs this, and your 2/2 Richard becomes smaller.
Yeah, no, he still has
Wait,
power.
no, he doesn't. Okay, he gains the power, but like, okay, never mind.
Now you're forced to find another Aeris. in
Yeah,
order
you're forced to find another
gain the
Aeris, or-
stock effect again.
Oh well.
Wait, you guys know the 2/2 unsold?
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah, it only
He
gains one
gains another
soul.
soul
It gains
if you
plus
have
1 soul
like-
from the yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, unfortunate card.
Unfortunately.
Next up is another Zerzo Aeris. If you have 2 or fewer stock, this gets 1500 power, 2 or less stock. So it's
Oh, I rated
3k.
1.
We rated a run, yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't moved a slide yet, so I have no idea what you're.
Oh, MG.
Next card.
Yeah, 0/0 Aeris. If you have 2 or less stock, this gets 1500 power, so it's 3k all the time if you meet the condition. And then when this reverses a character, you can choose one of your opponent's level 0 or lower front row characters and send it to the waiting room.
Yeah, we discussed about this card when I was last here for a stream. I remember stream was still listening to that, but we said this card has a lot of potential. Being able to remove 2 cards with 1 attack allows you to play a slow level 0 game and not let your opponent gain that much advantage. Emphasize the fact that you can like dodge on reverse stuff. I think there's a lot of potential with this card. You might want to play around with this in standby, because that's the deck that you want to play the slow level 0 game. This card could be nuts, but it also could just end up doing nothing. So we'll just give it a 3.
All right. Yeah. Seems valid. It's a pretty unique effect. We haven't really seen this kind of card before, so
Yeah, at least not in a zero profile like this. I think.
I'll be interested in seeing how this does.
Yeah,
If people start running
I'll try it when I play standby. Sure.
Next up, 1-0 Aeris. During your turn, this gets 2k power if you have 2 or more other 6-face world characters. And then when this is reversed, you can reveal the top card of your deck. And if that card is a level 2 or higher card, you can rest this card. So it's like a kind of like a coin flip thing.
Yeah. 6/5 beater, that's a coin flip that might give you a plus. Probably just 2.
Yeah. Fair
Doesn't
enough.
really do much.
Next, 1-1 Ghislaine. If you have another Rudius or Aeris character, this gets 1500 power, so 6k. And if the cost of the character across from this is 0 or lower, this can't be reversed.
One of these can't be reverse cards, but at least this hits a good number, 6k. I don't know how often you'll actually get a condition. Not too many good Rudius back rows. Yeah.
Who's Aeris?
Yeah, it needs Aeris or Rudius. I can't remember.
I'm stupid. She's the red-haired girl.
Yeah. Oh wait, you don't know who
Oh my god. I saw the name and I blanked. I'm sorry. Sorry, Aeris fans. Not sorry, actually. I haven't watched the
But
show.
like,
All right.
one of the other known Aeris cards you probably have on the board is probably the 1/1 combo or like a 2/2. We'll see later. Like if she gains power off her own name, that'd be really sick. But sometimes you might actually whiff this power condition, but yeah.
Unfortunate.
Unfortunate.
Next, what do you give it?
Rate it?
2?
Give it 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Fine 1/1 card,
Alright.
but might whiff power.
Next up, it's another Ghislaine, 2-1. For every other back row 6-face world character, this gets 2k power, so 10k. If you have a full back row, and when you play the door pictured in your climax zone, you can, and this is in the front row, and you have 2 or more other entree characters, you can pay one, ditch a character, sorry, to send one of your opponent's front row level 3 or lower characters to the waiting room, and then reveal the top card of your deck. And if that card is a 6-face world character, choose a level 2 or lower character in your opponent's back row and send it to the waiting room. So kind of a blast from the past a little bit. This is the railgun combo.
Yep.
I think.
Railgun combo.
Yeah.
On a 2/1, so you don't have to have like a EP condition to get soft, but you also don't get like the damage scry that Sakura has. Not really Misakura, but Railgun combo has. I don't know. I think these type of combos just doesn't work out anymore.
Pretty costly.
You could play this
Pretty costly.
with like the other level 3 Aeris, the one that searches his own climax. Then you can fit this in. You do want to do like a 4-door, but 4 split doors. That's the only row I can see it. It's probably worth trying out, but I don't think. Man might call for it. It might be decent, but I wish it plus to you somehow, some other way. I'd probably just give it a 2.
Fair enough. What?
You just fix it 2.
Oh my god. Next, 2/2 Philip. For every the marker underneath this card, this gets 2k power. So I guess we'll look at the next effect to see how much power it can get. So on play from hand, you can choose up to 3. Okay, so it can be 11k max. You're gonna choose up to 3 of the maids in your waiting room and put them underneath this card face down as markers. Interesting card. And the maid in question is an army card. You can run as many copies as you like of that card.
Dude, I wish this was like on play from hand or from waiting room. Then it'd be worthwhile. But only getting markers on play from hand makes this card not worth it.
Is
It's
this
pretty
flavor
much
or something?
one.
I assume this is flavor. I assume he is the master.
Yeah, he's the house master, the head of the
I see.
household.
Unfortunate though.
Sounds like our relationship, Tom.
Oh, you're the maid? Yeah, sure. 0-0 Sorrows. If you're level 2 or higher, this gains the ability. As an act, you can send this to the waiting room to play the above the previous 2/2 Philip from your hand into this card's former slot. And this also happens to discard Bond to the 1/1 Aeris climax combo or the 2/2 Philip.
Okay.
Uh.
That's more slots you're putting in your deck to invest into as 11k too. And you had to play like the maids, and when we get to the maids, they themselves are not that good. Yeah, this card's.
Well, we gave the Philip a 1. This is also probably.
This is probably a 1.
Unless I mean,
it's nice
you think
that
the
it
Ditch One
bonds the
Bond?
combo.
You think the Ditch One Bond is relevant? It might be.
It might be, but it's like, I don't want to hard play too many 1/1 Aerises anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Okay,
Yeah.
so what do you want to give it?
A 1.
Okie dokie. Next card. It is the Maid. Are there alt arts for this, or is I don't know.
There's like 4 arts for this.
I see. Makes sense. You can play as many cards, copies of this card in your deck as you like. Army card. All of your other red characters or Rudius characters get 500 power. And this is a pay 1, rest 2 brainstorm that lets you search for a red character if you hit another copy of itself. So, a typical army brainstorm.
Yeah, so an army card that doesn't gain power itself, and it's an army card you usually only want 1 or 2 of on your field, and now you're clogging your deck with cards. I don't think it's worth. And notice that it gives power to Rudius, but it doesn't let you search Rudius.
Oh, right. It doesn't. Oh, weird. All right.
I give it a 1.
Okie dokie. Next card, 0/0 Hilda. On play from hand, mill 2, and if there's a climax among those 2 cards, mill, give one of your opponent's front row characters minus 1k power. And this also happens to be a level 0 lower bomb.
2 effects are usually secondary effects. Put them together, they're still worse than a primary effect. So just 1.
Badge. Next card, Zerzo Aeris. So this card can't side attack, and during your turn, this gets 2k power, so it's 4,500 power.
45 beat stick. Doesn't do anything else. 1.
Yeah. Next, 1/0 Ghislaine. When you play any climax, you can bounce this back to your hand to choose one of your 6-Ace World characters. And this turn, it gets this ability. So at the beginning of your attack phase, choose one of your other 2/2 vanilla Aerises and stand it. Interesting, but nice vanilla, bro.
Nice vanilla, bro. Big 1.
Sag.
Oh,
she's so mad. She's the Madge character, I assume. The tsundere.
Yes, she is the tsundere.
1/0 air, especially, it just especially compares really badly to the Rudy. Like,
yeah,
unfortunate.
No deck manipulation. No 1k power. Feels bad.
1/0 Aeris. So on play, mill 1. If you milled a level 0 lower character, you can send to waiting room one of your opponent's cost 0 lower characters in their front row, and then when this is front attack, send this to the waiting room. Ouch.
Big ouch. I mean, 6k is you wanted to beat over a character, then you can kill another character. Only kills cost 0s, not level 1s. It's pretty bad, I think. It's like a
this is card.
1. Like, it removes itself, so like being a 6k body doesn't mean anything because you're just gonna die on defense regardless.
Yeah. 1/1 Aeris is next up. This gets 500 for every other 6-Ace World character, so it's 7,500 power with the full board and has hand core. Pretty generic standby profile.
Very generic standby profile. Give it a 2.
Yeah. It'll be this or the combo.
Yes.
I assume, right?
And
Yeah.
it depends
If
if you value the hand on core enough.
And on that note, this 2/2 Aeris next is another generic standby target. So for every other 6-Ace World character, this gets 1k power. So it'll be 10k with the full board, and it has hand core.
Yep.
And the potential competitor is the Ghislaine, right? We talked about this a little earlier.
You can actually mix them. I see some
You
people.
could. You could run both. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely true.
Mix and match these. Like how Day of Life sometimes mix and match their 2/2s.
Yeah.
That's about it. It's pretty generic, so it's just a 2.
Agreed. And on to the events for red. So 1/1 event. If you don't have a 6-face world character, you can't play this from hand. Very hard condition. Salvage a 6-face world character from your winner, and choose one of your characters to give it 1k power, and then on reverse, stock the top. You may stock the top card of your deck.
Actually, I forgot this card exists. So yeah, you get a hand fix, 1 stock. Then you get a power pump, and then you get a potential refund on that. I think this is actually nice. Does it do enough? We'll find out. I'll give it a 2 for now.
It's a decent stock out, right? But I mean,
yeah, it's technically like a free hand fix, so long as you get a reverse.
Right. I would agree with the 2-star rating, though. It's like, just a salvage. Next, and the last card in red. 1/1 event. This is a counter. You can choose up to one of your battling 6-face world characters, bounce back to your hand, and then choose up to 1 character in your waiting room, add it to hand, and then ditch a card. So this is like the move gear.
Yep, the
right?
1/1 move gear.
1/1 move gear. Holy.
Too bad it's not the 1/0 move gear.
UA is pooming. Unfortunately, the support around this card does not seem as good as the support around move gear. So
I have a deck that I toy around with this card. I think this might be worth it if you're playing the bar level 1. You can bounce back to bar level 1. Next turn, if you trigger bar, you can combo again.
I see. Yeah.
You can salvage one of your pieces for your early play. Either your Richards or your self, the bar level 3s. Because you're gonna need like multiple pieces.
She's missing teeth in this picture. Is she? Oh, I mean, that's an anime face, man. That's just typical anime face.
Oh, will I rate it? I think I want to say 3. I think it has potential.
Okay, no, that's fair.
I very well think it will probably end up being a 2, but we'll give it a 3.
Oh, she literally lost teeth.
Yes.
Spoilers,
though.
Yeah, blue. I'm blue. Yeah. Zerzo Roxy.
Are we all wearing blue?
I'm not wearing blue. This is white, but it looks blue because of the lighting, I guess. When you play a climax or you're in climax zone, you can choose one of your characters and give it pay 1 twin drive for the turn. And this is a tap self salvage brainstorm, not trade restricted.
All right.
Wowie zowie.
I'm absolutely loving that Bushiroad's actually making the second effect for these brainstorms not boring and sad. We've seen it solidly, we see a Nijigasaki, now we see it here. And I think this is one... I don't know if they're better than the other ones, but this is definitely up there for one of the best brainstormers in the game then. I want to give this a 5. Twin drive is always useful. You get to pay out CXs, you can help trigger CXs. It's always fine. Big 5 to start the hype.
Also, the SP. This is the SP, right? That's SP.
Yeah, this is also the SP,
okay.
Not the SSP though.
Okay. Next card is another Roxy, 3/2. During your turn, this gets 2k power, so it's 11k during your turn. Heals on play, and at the end of this card's attack, if you have the pants pictured in the climax zone, and you have another character, choose one of the 2 effects and resolve it. So the first effect is just burn 1, and the second effect, you could ditch 2 to burn 3.
It's a fine profile. Damage manipulation, low cost. That's the biggest part. That's being low cost. You don't have to use a lot of stock, but you might have to use a lot of hand. But I don't think it does anything too special. But it's still a card you can consider your deck. I think this could be a 4. Cheap but effective healer. Finisher.
Yeah. I think it'll make its way into a lot of decks. A lot of Roxy fans out there, as evidenced by the people in the chat. 0/0 Roxy. On play from hand, you can scry the top card of your opponent's deck. Interesting. And then also on play, you can ditch a card to salvage the blue 1/0 event pictured in your waiting room from your hand, or to your hand rather.
If you know the scene, leave a UA pog.
Oh,
no.
no.
Is that why she's scrying your opponent's deck?
She's spying your opponent's deck because she's spying.
All right. Wait. Oh, it's not a scry. I'm sorry. You look at the top card of your opponent's deck and then the bottom card of your
Yeah,
opponent's
you're not looking at your deck. You're looking at
You're
your
looking at the
opponent's.
top and bottom.
You're looking at the top and bottom of your opponent.
Who's on top and who's on bottom? All right. Lol.
Watch and find out.
Oh my god.
Okay, overall, ditch spawn to the event. The event actually, I think, has a lot of potential. We'll talk about that later.
I think it's quite
I don't
good,
think
actually.
the event's something you want to play multiple of in one turn, so you don't really care about being able to bond to it. I think it's still a 2 though.
Yeah. Is there a foil of this card?
Huh?
Is there a foil of this card?
I don't think so.
Okay. I can only imagine what they would do with the foil of this card.
No, I don't think that shows the actual scene.
Next, 1/0 Roxy. This is the 2K backup. If you just want to rate it, and we can.
Yeah, we'll rate
Move
2K
on.
back up as a 2.
Yep. Next card. It's another 1/0. It's a 2-star. It's another 1/0 Roxy. If you're level 3 or higher, this gains this ability. You can send this to the waiting room to choose a 3/2 Roxy assist in your hand and play it in the card's former slot. And then this happens to give all your other TD combo Rudies 1K power, and is also a global 500 to all your other 6-face world characters.
Yeah.
Interesting card.
Yeah, we gave the TD Rudius a 4-star,
4.
and this card boosts that. This card makes it your Rudius swings at 9K with the combo, and he sits at 6/5 cross turn, which is really respectable.
Yeah.
I think if you're playing TD Rudius combo, you're probably playing this as well. And the card it summons is also pretty good too. Oh, I think this is gonna be a 4 with the Rudius.
All right. Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
Next is another 1/0 Roxy. For every other 6-face world character, this gets 500 power, so 6K. And when one of your characters trigger check one of the TD choice or the pants climax for the 3/2 Roxy climax combo, you can pay 1 to draw 1.
Yeah. 6K attacker, and it doesn't have to work in the front row. You can also have it in the back row, and then you can always change your. Whenever you trigger CX, you can get another pay 1+1.
This seems pretty good if you're running these combos.
Yeah, so this is one of the appeals that most people looked at when they read the set, the choice pants of this card. I don't know if you play a high countess. This card that you can probably just have it sit in your back row and just continue generating advantages.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably give this a 3. I think it can be really good, or maybe sometimes the stock, and you can't pay a lot of times, or maybe you just don't want to run this climax lineup.
Mm-hmm. Understandable. I like that it can move up to attack later when you don't really need it anymore. So that's always nice.
Yeah, effective attacker and effective back row. Well,
yeah. Next up is this 3/2 Roxy. So this is an assist. This gives 2K power in front to all characters. And then on play from hand, draw 2, ditch 1. This includes when it is played by the effect of the 1/0 Roxy we talked about earlier. And whenever you trigger a climax, you can choose one of your characters and give it 1K power and pay 1 twin drive for the turn. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, so the
Honestly.
Brainstorm gives you a twin drive. So if you trigger CX with that twin drive, you can give another character a twin drive. You just get a whole bunch of twin drives going on.
It's nice. Like when you trigger climax, this lets you pay it out immediately as well. It's like super nice. I like it.
This card you'll definitely play in 8 standby, and I think you play the choice because you're playing a 1/0. You probably play this as like a 1-up still.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this card is like gonna be played in almost every deck except for like 8 bar.
Yeah,
So this is probably gonna be a 4.
I'm down. All these effects are super nice.
Yep.
Next, Zerzo Roxy. On play, real top card of your deck, and if that card was a 6-face world character or an event, this doesn't suffer soul penalty when it side attacks. And then on attack, you can choose one of your 6-face world characters and give it 1/5 power for the turn, including itself. So,
Yeah, this is kind of similar to the PR Kurumi that was super expensive. Yeah. This might make room. You might find rooms for this in 8 standby. But other than that, I don't think this is too amazing. It's probably just a 2.
Next up, Zero Almanfi. During your turn, this gets 1k power, so it's 3k during your turn. And then when this reverses a character, you can send this to memory, and then at the beginning of your next draw phase, choose this card in memory and then play it on stage in any slot. So like a time machine profile, level 0 time machine.
I know some people like level 0 time machine. I'm technically never played a set with one, so I don't really know how that works out. I heard this is nice because it's actually bigger than 2/5. So this is plussing 0 that can constantly plus you if your opponent just keeps throwing up weenies.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give it 2.
Probably not as good as the clean cut, I think.
Yeah.
If they're gonna give you a reverse, you might as well
At least this
reverse it
can
with the clean cut.
kill clean cuts and then deny clean cuts.
That's true. That is like a very fair point. Yeah. All right. 2 seems good. Next up, 00 Pax. What is he doing? Is he licking the figure?
Yo.
Average Mushoku viewer pictured? And it's a Roxy figure? Oh my god.
It's
Wait.
a Roxy figure.
Okay. I see. What? That is so bizarre. Okay. If you don't have another character with Roxy in name, this can't attack. Wow. Okay. Flavor. And at the beginning of your opponent's attack phase, you can this is a chaser, so you can move this to an empty front row slot with the character in a slot opposite it.
3k chaser.
Dude, that is his tongue is so big. Do you see that? Do you see that? It's so big.
Okay, the downside's actually relevant for this card. Because it's like the only good Roxy Zero is just a Brainstormer, I think, or and a CX Whopper that we've seen so far. So this actually might not be able to attack sometimes. Chaser is nicer if it's bigger than 3k. 3k is like, at that point, people can just throw it on a vanilla and just buy it.
Yeah.
This card is probably a 1.
A 5? A 5? Dude,
A
come
5
on, dude.
for how funny it is. Okay, which card do you like better? This or the Alpha Rudy?
Okay, yeah, probably this is. You'll want to buy 365 of this card.
This is actual
binder. This is a binder card for sure. Buy like 8 of these and surround them around every Roxy you own. Nice. 2-1 Roxy is next. For every other 6-face world character, this gets 1k power, so 10k. On attack, if you have the book in your climax zone, you resolve the following effect twice. Reveal the top card of your deck, and if that card is a character or an event card, add it to hand. So like the Kotori combo, but on a 2-1.
Kotori combo but balanced.
Yes.
I mean,
Also on a bad trigger.
I did say 2-1 you want to have you want it to +2.
You did say that.
I did say that.
What are you gonna give this, Kevin?
I still don't like 2-1 calls, but I'll give this one a 2. It's better than the other ones we've seen so far.
Yeah. Next, 3-2 Kishirika Kishirisu. Okay, that's a name. On play from hand, look it up to the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck. Choose one up to one of them. Bottom deck it, and then put the rest on top in any order. And then this gets 2k power for the turn. On attack, you can choose one of your 6-4 characters, including itself, to give it 3k power for the turn. And when this is reversed, reveal the top card of your deck. If that card was level 2 or higher, you can return this to your hand.
So this is basically like a on-play mocha type of thing.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Similar, but it's not exactly the same, but it's close enough.
Mm-hmm.
Probably does not do enough though. I wish the plus like guarantee, but the plus being a coin flip and bad, and she's only 7-5 herself. Sure, she can hit 12-5, but it's like okay. But I don't think she's like worthless to be a 1, so she's at least 2.
Mm-hmm. Okie dokie. Back to the Roxy programming. 0-0 Roxy. If all your characters are 6-face world, this gets 1k power, so 2500 all the time, literally. Just like there's like, yeah. If you're playing the game, this is 25. And then on attack, you can pay 1 twin drive. All right. You cannot stack twin drives on this card to, quadruple drive. That is not how this effect works.
Unfortunately, not. So yeah, if the brainstorm didn't exist, there would be more argument for this. But since the brainstorm just makes any card you play have twin drive already, there's no value in this card. It's basically just 1.
All right. Someone is frozen. Their image is frozen on the packs. Nice. 1-0 Rokari. This is a pay 1 bond to either the 3-2 Climax combo Roxy or the 1-0 Rowan that's pictured. And this resonates with that Rowan to, at the beginning of your Climax phase, to give all of your characters 2k power for the turn.
That's been
the package deal going. Is this their mother?
Yeah, that's Roxy's mom.
Okay.
Time for the song? No. She's pretty hot.
Roxy's mom.
Pay 1 bond is nice. That's basically the best part about it. Yeah. If the resonate could work from the back row, it would be actually really nice. But
Right,
since
yeah.
It doesn't. You have to feel a 2k body. Not gonna beat most stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give this I give it 2 because it has a pay 1 bond. Pay 1 bonds are rare and nice.
And it bonds to a relevant card, which is pretty okay. Okay, and then I guess this is her dad.
Yep.
Or brother.
Dad looks like the same age.
Her dad?
That's
He looks
me.
like her brother.
That's me, by the way. That's me.
Why? I thought, isn't the point to not be your brother?
No. But mom.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
He
That-
didn't
Oh,
marry-
sorry.
That's me.
Okay, sure.
That's,
Fair enough.
It literally looks like me, bro. I could.
1-0.
Literally me.
It does not look like you, dude. That guy's hair is way too voluptuous to be you.
Dude, that's me, bro. That's me, bro.
Your forehead is also bigger than his. Your forehead is bigger than his face.
Bro, this is where the airplanes land, man. Come on.
All right, 1-0 Rowan. This is a ditch 1 bond to the 0-0 Roxy Brainstormer or the 1-0 Rokara. Is it Rokara or Rokari?
Rokara.
Okay, Rokara, the one we talked about before.
Wait, Rokara or Rokari?
Did you watch this show?
She's like showed up for like half of the episode. I don't remember.
It's Rokari. Okay. And this also resonates with that Rokari in your hand. At the beginning of your climax phase to give this card 6k power of the turn, so it'll attack at 8-5 if you resonate.
Bond is way worse. Ditch Bond to
Yes.
Brainstorm is not as good as pay 1 Bond to Finisher.
Yes, I agree.
And Resonate
Sag.
makes it it's like he's 8-5. 10-5 if you use the Resonate of Rikari.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Nice.
he's just worse than Rikari. I'll give him a 1. He was Sag for the Dodge.
All right. Next, 1-0 Orsted. If you have one or fewer other front row characters, this gets 3,500 power, and this minus negs the level of the character across from it, so it'll be 7,500 if you have 2 characters in the front row. One of them being this card, and the character across from this gains the following ability: if the character across from this is higher level than this card, this can't front attack. So basically, if the character across from this card is lower level than the Orsted, it can't front attack. Kind of cute. I don't know. It's probably not good because of the condition, sadly.
Yeah, the condition being a 1/1 is also bad.
Yeah. And you have to attack with
2
2
characters.
characters for that turn.
Or you attack
It's like,
with the time machine.
oh.
Ooh.
That's
Oh, time machine gets
No.
reversed and you get the effect online.
nice.
Still not good. It's 1.
Or you can just crash, I guess. You can just crash a card.
No, because but if you crash, he's still attacking small. It'll be big defense, but he's attacking small.
Yeah. Sag. Next, 2-1 Roxy. If you have the 3-2 Rudius in your level zone, this gets 2k power and hand on core. So it'll be 8-5 hand on core. And then on attack, this gets 1k for every other 6-face world character. So it'll be 12,500 power on attack if you meet every condition. Full board plus the Rudy in your level zone.
I'm not a big fan of these 2-1 beaters. I just feel like Adachi does roll better and sooner in a lot of cases.
Yeah. I think
So
I agree.
these
It doesn't
type
get
of
big enough.
profile, huh?
It doesn't get quite big enough, unfortunately, I think.
Yeah, 12-5 is nice, but it's not enough. At least it's not a lot against like 11k with a 2k back roll.
Yep.
So I think this card's honestly just a 1.
Final blue card. 1-0 event. So you can't play this from hand if you don't have a Roxy. Search your deck for up to 1 6-face world character, add it to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. And if you added a card to your hand via this effect, ditch a card and then send this to memory. And then when you level up, if this is in your memory, you can send this card to the waiting room to search your deck for 6-face world character and add it to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. So it's like a initial search 1, then a delayed search later.
Yes, so initially you go neg 1 and then afterwards you get another search. I've talked to Ryan about this card and some other players. We all think there's a high potential risk. I think I saw a lot of lists on Twitter initially play this list in their choice pants list. I think this card can have a lot of potential. I'll give it a 3. Like, it's double costless hand fix. High quality hand fix too. And if you're playing like a plus in level 1 the combo anyway, there's chances the neg 1 doesn't hurt that much initially.
Mm-hmm. It being costless is really nice.
Yeah, if it's a 1-1, this card's immediately bad. But if it's a 1-0, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. And that was the last card of the set, and we can move on to promos. Ooh.
That event can also be like a foolish burial at first.
Oh my god. That's true. Yeah, I mean, that is fair enough. You know, that is actually pretty relevant, actually. Costless way to get discard outlet, like get a card from your pretty good. Alrighty, promo time. It's promo time. Zerzo Rudy. On play from hand, if your opponent has one or fewer characters in their front row, choose a cost 0 or lower character in your opponent's front row and then send it to the waiting room. And then also, when it's sent from the stage to the waiting room, you can pay 2 to search for to salvage a 6-face roll character, and out of 10.
I think both effects are pretty mediocre, and together they're still mediocre. This is a 1.
Yep. 2-1 Sylphiette. So this is a 2500 power backup that becomes a 3500 power backup if you are playing the game.
35 back row, generic, but sometimes useful if you need that extra power threshold. A 2.
Yep. 0-0 Ghislaine. If you don't control another character, this gets +1 level and 1500 power, so it'll be 4500 level 1. And then when this is reversed, for the rest of the turn, you can't use Encore.
This is worse than wait, why is this need no other character? This type of profile usually have 1 or less other characters, so that's why this card's bad.
Isn't it usually 1k if it's 1 or less other character?
No, not the one in Slime or the one in Versailles. They're always 4 or 5 level 1, as long as you have 1 or less
I
other
see.
character. I don't know why. But if I didn't screw this translation myself, then this is bad. 1.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, it was always like this. Yeah, these type of profile. Yeah.
2-1 Aeris is next. All of your other characters gain discount side attack. And then whenever your other 6-face roll character attacks, it gets 500 for every other 6-face roll character. So it caps out at 13k as the last attacker, I believe.
I think it's just like a worse version of the 2-1 we saw earlier.
Yeah.
And that was a 1, and yeah, 1 as well. Pretty sad PRs.
Next up, 0-0 Roxy. So on play from hand, mill 2, and if you mill the climax, you can ditch a card to salvage a character, any character. And then also on play from hand, you may rest another 6-face roll character to level swap. So basically, swap a card in your level zone with a card in your waiting room.
I think level swap is too important in this deck. You might want to play with Rudius level 1 combo because you want to hit that experience too. Because that boss is like a 1-up that can potentially give you hand fix as well. I give this a 2, at least.
Okay, dokie. There's some other. It also works with like the 3-2 Rudius experience.
Yeah,
condition
a lot
cards
of
as
cards
well.
need
Yeah.
that, so if you never get that card specifically in, it helps you get that.
Yeah. And the final PR is a release tournament PR. So this is a 1-0 Rudy. On attack, if you have 2 or more other 6-face roll characters, this gets 2k power for the turn. So 1-0 6k. And then when this reverses a character, you have to draw 1. Or draw up to 1.
I guess this should be a you may.
I think it's like, yeah, it probably draw up to 1, then
Draw up to 1. Draw up to 1.
yeah, you may draw 1, then discard a card if you drew 1.
Oral. That's definitely
It's mandatory? It's a mandatory draw drop? I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
mandatory draw drop.
Okie dokie.
Okay, it being mandatory makes it worse, I think.
I think I agree, yeah.
6k that can potentially hand filter. Like not the worst card I've read, that's for sure. But do I think it's more than 1? It might be a 2. It could be a relevant secondary attacker.
Okay. And boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, that was the set review for Mushoku Tensei. The end of our 11th episode.